Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Melissa Estevillo. I'm a licensed clinical psychologist and owner of Biltmore Psychology and Counseling. Today we wanted to talk to some of the couples out there that are going through social isolation and all the stress that's happening with COVID-19 and be able to give you guys some tips about how to navigate through this time, this really unprecedented time. So I think it's important for us to be able to know that if we are having tension within our relationships, that is not unique, that is something that a lot of people are going through, and yet I still think it's important for us to really strive to bond through these times and know that we can come out on the other side potentially stronger than we've ever been before. And so the most common thing that I see for a lot of couples is talking about how there's this irritation that's been happening during this time, that people feel very short, they feel on edge, they feel agitated, and of course, this is not surprising. That makes tons of sense that people would feel this way. But typically, when I think of agitation, I typically think of this as like an anger response. But really underneath agitation is typically a fair amount of anxiety. And, for a lot of people going through this, it's very anxiety provoking to think my income might change. I might lose my job. I don't know if my kids are going to go back to school before the end of the summer. I've worked so hard for some of these things, and I just don't know if now my efforts are actually going to be fruitful and pay off into anything. And so for couples, what's so important is to be able to see with this is that this irritation that maybe even escalates into anger, again, is a secondary emotion, that the primary thing that we're feeling, like I touched on with anxiety, is it tends to be these four things. I tend to say it often will represent feeling hurt, afraid, embarrassed, and disappointed. And, so for a lot of people, what I'm hearing is that this is really disappointing, and this is really concerning to not know what's ahead and know that week by week things are changing. And so for couples that are going through this, don't vent your irritation and your anger out towards the other person. It's understandable. But if we can identify what that is and communicate more vulnerably that we're feeling afraid, that we're feeling nervous, that we're feeling overwhelmed, that's going to do a lot for our relationship to bond it together. Ironically, in these times of stress, this can actually be a time where couples stop turning at each other and actually bond together and go at the problem. So if it's, well, how are we going to get through a job loss? Or how are we going to be able to feed our families? Or how are we going to make sure that our boss can see that our job is invaluable? And with a partner by our side, oftentimes we're able to emotionally regulate better. We're able to come back down and connect in a better way. So for couples out there that are arguing, fighting, or irritable, recognize that irritation is likely related to being disappointed and being afraid, feeling overwhelmed, that primary emotion. Share that with your partner. Receive empathy from that. So give empathy back. Don't try to fix it. Don't try to, problem solve. Just connect with that. Bond together then to be able to overcome that problem. And this can be a time where you've been, closer than ever. So, we want to be able to give you guys tips through this stressful time. Know that we're here for you. And if you have any questions, you can always leave those in the comments below. And you can always subscribe for future content. So in the meantime, take care, be healthy and safe, and we'll see you soon.